It is 3:30 in the morning here in the capital, Tehran. You're watching Press TV's Top 5. Many thanks for joining us this hour. Now, a funeral procession has been held for senior Hazbollah fighter Jihad Mughniyah, who was killed in an Israeli airstrike in Syria's Golan Heights. Our correspondent Mariam Saleh reports from Beirut.
Jihad Mughniyah, Hazbollah fighter and son of Hazbollah's slain top commander Jihad Mughniyah, was laid to rest beside his father. Hundreds of Hazbollah supporters marched behind the coffin, chanting slogans against Israeli aggressive acts. Figures from the resistance movement and their allies were first to take part in the funeral procession. Hazbollah Member of Parliament Bilal Farhat told Press TV that the latest strike confirmed Israel's involvement in Syria and its support for Takfiri groups.
Israel is part of it. After we have seen the whole open door on Julan's area, which they call it the goodwill door, and that has been supporting all those jihadists, what they call it, takfiriyin. So this is to confirm their direct involvement, and now their involvement is reflecting their weakness and where they have reached from being defeated to react against such an terrorist act, let me say it clearly, to try to minimize what they can do in that area.
Jihad Mughniyah was head of the Qunaitra group of resistance fighters, part of the defense line for the resistance against Israeli threats. Experts believe the Israeli move was not a complete surprise. However, there will be a calculated retaliation.
This is a confrontation, open confrontation with the Israeli, and they will not stop at any place or time, but will be within the constraint of the operation that was taken by Hazbollah, but eventually the response will come.
Hezbollah supporters stress that despite the pain and suffering of losing men on the battlefield, victory will be on their side.
I came to show my support, and hopefully we stick by the Shuhada, and we'll always be with them side by side, no matter what happens.
Observers and Hezbollah supporters have always known that the war in Syria would be a long war, one filled with sacrifices. It was also clear that Israel would be one of the parties to back instability in Syria. The latest strike will undoubtedly have its consequences and be a turning point in the ongoing conflict. But the question is whether we will witness a war or a response that stops at that point. Mariam Saleh, Press TV, Beirut.